Hello, and welcome to Copenhagen Fashion Week, Spring 22 edition live Q&A. My name is Marie Ivanoff Smith. I'm the Women's Fashion Director for Nordstrom, and I'm joined here with Karin Rodebjer from Rodebjer. Karin, I'm extremely happy because by coincidence, they asked me to interview a designer, and it was you. And I have to say you're one of my favorites, so I'm excited to get to spend a little time with you.
Oh, that's amazing to hear. I'm so glad to finally meet you.
Absolutely. I'm also personally shopping your brand a lot for sure. So when I was thinking about the question I wanted to ask you, one came to mind that feels very of the moment. During this COVID confinement and disruption, what did you learn? What's the silver lining? What did you learn that you will keep forever and apply it in the future and that was important to you? What lesson?
I think we have all learned a lot. And I think especially I've learned to prioritize. I learned that you really don't have to do everything, and it made it easier to focus on the important things. And I went back to the history of Rodebjer and thought about what has always been important for me, and that is sustainability. So we actually decided to dig even deeper into the sustainable perspective of things. So we have, changed the way of sourcing fabric, finding new suppliers that could support us in the right way. We have traveled less, and we have also started shipping less by air. So we do change our business model into a more sustainable business model going forward, which I'm very excited about.
That is great. It's good to hear because I can see a new normal coming back, and we kind of hoping for a real, people embracing climate change and sustainability. And I hope we don't go back to what it used to be. It would be kind of like a loss, I think, because there's a momentum that we already, feeling, and we need to really go after it. So that sounds very exciting.
I agree with you. Yeah, you have to find a new way of normal.
Yes, absolutely. And talking about sustainability, I think we at corporate, we're a generation that, participate to it. And I see my children who are very aware about the climate and sustainability, but yet they don't purchase sustainable. So what do you think is the holdup for that generation of young consumer really going after their value and being able to purchase sustainable? What do you think is the obstacles?
I think maybe, the price can often be seen as an obstacle because it's a little bit more pricey to buy sustainably. But I also think it demands more of the brands and of us as designers to not compromise on style and still make it, don't cut down on quality or hand feel or fit or style. So it's still interesting for young consumers. So I think it shouldn't be compromised. It should just be an extra bonus in a way.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a lot of responsibility. Sorry.
I agree. I think you don't want to compromise the newness, the fashion appeal, and not looking too basic. But I feel like there's so much newness coming into biosourcing materials that almost like feels so futuristic and be very enticing for that generation. Like, mushroom, or, I was reading today about skin from fish or leather pineapple that feels so cool and futuristic. And I think there's on the retailer part as well is the education, that's what we need to communicate, and really because it's so complicated, there's so much opportunity, and really doing a good job and showcasing that with our customers is so important as well. And then my last question, thinking, about also very important topic, an evergreen topic, and I know you're very involved with that as well. It's like, how do you think about diversity in your creative process, and how important? I'm sure it's important for you. I know it is, but how you integrate it in your process, in your creative process?
I think for me, I mean, in Scandinavia, it is kind of homogenetic in a way, and it tends to be maybe a bit narrow-minded, or it was when I
Yeah,
founded Rodebjer at least. That's why I wanted to move to New York to see, be in that melting pot and see different cultures, because that has always been important for me. And I also feel like that's the reason Rodebjer, I never wanted to put women in a box. So I wanted, to give space and room for many types of women. And that was always my dream. And so I always say that Rodebjer is more of a mindset than, a cultural background or age or social, like economical condition. I've always wanted to make room for different kind of women rather than just one type. So I
one
always
time.
try to think more inclusive if I can. But of course, fashion is a little bit tricky.
Yeah,
But that is my
for sure.
dream, to invite more women into the brand.
Well, I again, I told you I'm a fan, and I do think that your fit is really nice, and I can tell there's a lot of thought going into it, and
Yeah.
the beautiful prints, and it's to me, it's also a little bit of escapism, the way you showcase your emotion. I think it's fantastic. So that was it. That was all my question for you.
Oh, amazing!
I,
Amazing to talk to you.
absolutely, and I
Have a
hope I'll
nice
meet you. Yeah, have a
have
nice
a nice
have a nice.
evening.
Yeah, I would love to meet you in real very soon, I
Yeah,
hope.
me too. Listen, me too. Have a nice
Bye.
day.
Bye,
Bye
Karen.
bye.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.